Welcome back. So if you look at the Dow 30 years ago and then you compare it to here, this day, 2017, very different picture. We're going over to Mike Eppel at 680. Good morning to you, Mike.
Good morning, Melanie. Yes, indeed. It was 30 years ago today. The market suffered its biggest ever single-day percentage sell-off. Black Monday, 1987, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average this day in history down 23%. Now it dropped 508 points. By today's standards, on a point basis, that isn't really all that much. Consider that the Dow Jones yesterday was above 23,000 at the close for the first time ever. Back in 1987, if memory serves, it was around 1,500 after the sell-off on Black Monday. We're coming off a huge day for IBM. It was up 9% yesterday on some really strong earnings from Big Blue. And ironically, back in 1987, this day in history, it was IBM that led the market to that sell-off of 30% for shares of IBM that day. Now, a lot of things went wrong on this day in history when we saw the markets, stocks going up straight line, bonds were selling off, and interest rates were moving higher. And we also at that time had sort of the early days of computer-activated trading. So the computers went haywire. There were no trading curbs in effect, which have since been put into place. And don't forget, things recovered fairly quickly from that single-day sell-off. So nothing of that nature is expected today, although Dow futures are down by 60 points this morning as we come in with Apple shares, in fact, down this morning on some reports that Apple has cut its orders for the new iPhone 8. Maybe it's not selling quite as well as some had expected. Or have people waited to see what the iPhone 10 will be like and whether they should pay the extra for Apple's superphone, so to speak, which goes on sale later this month. I should mention that the Tokyo stock market today extended its winning streak to a 13th day, and that is the longest string of gains for the Japanese benchmark stock index since 1988. So it's just moving up significantly here and at a 21-year high. News and notes from the corporate world this morning. This is the last day that cities will have to make their bids to win Amazon's favor for their second North American headquarters. We heard from Provincial Advisor Ed Clark yesterday in that speech talking about what Ontario has to offer. Now, keep in mind that was sort of Toronto-centric, but Ottawa-Gatineau also has a bid going into Amazon to win that $5 billion project. So we'll see when Amazon actually makes that announcement. And as well, the Sears Canada liquidation sales start today. The 10 to 12 week shutdown of the retailer will be taking place. And if the Target Canada exit from the Canadian retail market is any indication of how the Sears liquidation will go, you'll see about 10% off initially, and then the sales will get deeper, the discounts deeper, as inventory gets thinner, and pretty much everything will go here as the creditors look to maximize what they can get out of this company. And it's also important for the pensioners of Sears Canada that they get as much as possible from this liquidation sale, because some of that will go back to the pension fund, which is underfunded, unfortunately, for those 12,000 employees. Melanie, back to you.
Yeah, definitely sad for them. All right. Thanks so much, Mike.
You're welcome.